بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. The last thing that we read concerning some of the concise rulings of wiping over the khuffain, wiping over leather socks and normal socks. I'm talking about the conditions of wiping over socks when you perform wudu. When is it permissible and when is it impermissible? When is it valid and when is it invalid? Obviously, as a consequence of that will be your prayer as well being valid or invalid, because there's no salat without purification. There's no salat without purification, whether the purification be wudu, ghusl, tayammum, al-muhim, there's no salat without purification. Naam. With exceptions to the people that are in severely challenging situations. Muslims that are prisoners or non-Muslims who refuse to allow them to make tahara, face the qibla, impurities upon him, etc. But the normal ruling is that there's no prayer without purification, as the Prophet ﷺ has informed us. Allah does not accept a prayer without purification. So therefore, that's what we spoke about last time with regards to the khuffain. Now we mentioned this morning, bid'nai ta'ala, the next ruling, concise ruling from Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen's Fatawa. He was asked, هل يشترط لجواز المسح على الخفين أن ينوي المسح عليهما وكذلك نية المدة? With regards to it being permissible for a person to wipe over the socks, to make it his intention and do so? And also, does he have to make the intention for the specific time or the allotted time, the time period, which we discussed in detail, how long you have, 24 hours or 72 hours, etc., for a resident, for a traveler. So therefore, for it to be permissible, does it have to be a thing which a person has to intend to do it when he's putting on the socks? I have to make the intention that later on I want to wipe over the socks when I put them on after my wudu, or just put on the socks. And then when it's time to wipe over them, you begin to wipe over them. And obviously, as we explained before, that's when the actual time period, starts and begins. And not putting on the sock, nor not the breaking of the wudu. As we explained in detail. That the time period begins the first time you wipe, not the first time you use the bathroom, not the first salat you make, or not just you wearing the sock. We explained this. Only Allah knows how this cannot be truly understood and grasped in words. The importance of this when you're traveling, when you're going here, when you're there, when it's cold outside, in real practical life, and how easily it can be underestimated or even disrespected by people who don't live a real life. Everybody understand this? That's not important because your life is not really real and practical. On the move, at home, salah, jama'ah, important. I need to know. Fiqh, ibadah, and the list goes on. Sunnah. Everybody understand this? If my life is really not, my life is simple, easy at home, no big deal. Wipe over my feet, wash my feet, no big deal. Or it's not really important, or I follow this, or that. Everybody understand this? But the actual 9 to 5 Muslim that's practicing, and let alone doing more than that, he knows the importance and how precious these things are. I need to know that for sure. You're in the airport, you're not traveling yet. You're going to be traveling. You have to take off your shoes, going through the security. Now, do you wipe over your shoes, socks? I put it on at home. I was in the airport for 3 hours. Then I started traveling. Then I started wiping. Man yuridillah bi khayran faqihu fi din. Whoever Allah wants good for you, gives him fiqh of the deen. And fiqh of the deen is something that's supposed to be practical. It's supposed to be what? Practical, something that's everyday practice. Khairan, inshallah. So therefore, when you want to, does that have to be your intention in the morning or before you go to sleep at night when you put on your socks, whatever, that I'm going to wipe over in the morning, or I made wudu and I just put on my socks. I had my wudu for several hours. Like we said, dhuhr comes in now. Can I wipe over them, or did it have to be something I had to make the intention from the first hour on which I put on the socks that I'm going to later on Now, somebody may say, well, of course you're going to have to make the intention. Or this madhab says you're going to have to make the intention. Or so on and so on and so forth. When you say that, you automatically start putting a hardship on the people. Because I just want to wear socks. I may be home, I may be outside, I may be Allahu Alam. Then when it's time to pray, you know what? Let me just wipe over my socks. That's the practical ease of it. So let's see what Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen says about this. Shaykh Rahimahullah says, النية هنا غير واجبة لأن هذا عامل علق الحكم على مجرد وجوده فلا يحتاج إلى نية. He says here, right here in this issue, listen carefully, because many people don't make a mistake from learning one thing but missing out on another thing about the niyyah is obligatory. You have to have the niyyah. إنما العمل بالنية. All right? Which is true, but not all the time. He says here, there's no niyyah that's needed. The niyyah is not needed. Why is this? Because the ruling of the permissibility and recommendation of wiping over the sock is pertaining to the existence of the sock. That's it. Once the khuf, the jawrab is there, then the ruling is there. You're wearing socks with the proper conditions, then the ruling is done what? It doesn't I have to make the intention to have and to wipe over the socks later on. No. Everybody clear on this or not? Now, another example of this, for example, would be combining the salat when it's raining outside, or when it's really cold, or really hot. A hardship upon the people to come back to the jama'ah. All right? Somebody or some fuqaha, they say that you have to have the intention of combining the salah from the very first salat that you make. Meaning it's Maghrib time. We have the intention of going to combine Isha. We have to have the intention at the time of Maghrib. Now, one may say, well, it wasn't raining that bad when we made Maghrib. Now it is. What's the wisdom, the illah, the reason behind you combining the jama'ah, except for what? Hardship. What's it? Yeah, what is existing? What's there? Everybody understand this? Rain is there or it isn't. So now the ruling is there or it isn't. It's just that simple. So he says here, there's no niyyah that is needed. كما لو لبس الثوب فإنه لا يشترط أن ينوي به ستر عورته في صلاته مثلا. Another example of this is wearing the clothes in the salah. When you get dressed, it does not have to be your intention, I'm going to cover my awrah in the prayer. I have to put on my clothes with the intention I'm going to what? Cover my awrah in the prayer, which is in the salah. Everybody understand? It said no. You just put on your what? Your clothes. Or you just say you put on your clothes, the brother's down the steps, he's outside your house. I need to talk to you. Get in the car. You start talking. Next thing you know, it's a problem. We go to the masjid. But I didn't make the intention to put on these clothes to pray in. I put on my pajamas just to come and what? Talk to the brother. Or I was in my pajamas. Everybody understand this? He said that's not a what? It's not a condition. What's important is when it's time to pray, that your body is what? Everybody understand the simplicity? Yeah, at the same time, the what? Masterful nature of solid fiqh. And beauty, ultimate beauty is always in simplicity. Everybody clear on this or not? Moving forward. فلا يشترط في لبس الخفين أن ينوي أنه سيمسح عليهما وكذلك نية المدة بل إن كان مسافرا فله 3 أيام نواها أو لم ينويها وإن كان مقيما فله يوم وليلة نواها أم لم ينويها. He says, it is not a condition with regards to wearing the leather socks or the regular socks that he's going to wipe over them, nor the condition for it to be a 24-hour or 72-hour interval. There's no condition. He says here, if a person is traveling, 72 hours, and if a person is a resident, 24 hours, regardless whether he had the intention or not. Everybody clear on this or not? So, once more, the issue that we're taking today with regards to the socks, the khuffain, whether they're leather socks or normal socks, is that it is not an obligation, it is not a condition for you to put them on and it to be permissible to wear them, to wipe over them with the intention that you're going to later on use them for the ibadah, for the tahara, so on and so forth. It's not a condition. Everybody understand that? Whether you have it or not, what's important is the conditions are fulfilled and the time limit. Khairan inshaAllah. Tayyib. We'll stop here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullahu khairan.